Yo, 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 what it do? What it be, y'all? It's your boy, Agent A-N-T, repping the motherfucking spell block, Agent C, gang. You know we don't play none of that shit, all that shit. And today I'm coming at y'all with episode 2 of the History in Hindsight, talking about alcohol and tobacco over some Fallout 4 gameplay. Let's get right into it. And I'll get into some other stuff if we got time at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But we all know the old cliche that the West was won with guns. And to a certain extent they were, but it's a gross oversimplification. And Manifest Destiny in my time in public school was taught in a way that made it seem as if expansion in the West was anything less than attempted genocide. And we all know how guns won the West. But today I'm going to be talking about the two lesser known and talked about reasons why the colonists were able to execute Order 66. Manifest Destiny, using alcohol and tobacco. So let's start with tobacco, since it was more popular among native tribes pre-colonialism. In fact, tobacco was first discovered by the native people of Mesoamerica, and it was used by tribes in California and the American Northeast, and probably most places in between, as it was used for trade, medicines, and ceremonial purposes even before the first colonizers landed. Right? So then Columbus made his now famous or infamous voyage, if you will, in 1492, and for the next 100 years, rumors of a land with great riches spread throughout Europe. You know, they was talking like City of Gold. You know, they thought it was in Florida or something like that. They came to America thinking like the mountains was just made of gold, and we was just out here sitting on piles, and the natives had no sense of, you know, what they had, you know, because they didn't have a sense of money or anything like that. They were just chilling. So, in late 1606, English colonists set sail for the New World, like I said, expecting a land filled with great treasure and fortune. And instead of bringing necessities like livestock and seeds, you know, for farming and trying to make an actual home, nah, fam, they brought instruments and chemicals, you know, to test gold and, you know, rich metals and stuff like that. So from jump, they had no plan on settling and building up this new land. They came here, you know, they came here to plunder and dip. For real, they came here to get all the gold. You know, if the natives wasn't tripping, that was cool. If they was gonna lay them down too. But they came here, and it's not what they expected. So they got to America and set up Fort James, which would later be called Jamestown, and still is Jamestown. It still stands today in Virginia. And since the early settlers didn't bring sufficient long-term survival supplies, when this dude named John Rolfe arrived in the colony around, 3 years later, 1609, he found the original settlers. They were struggling. They was down bad, going out sad, and they were starving. And somehow he had in his possession an illegal bag of tobacco seeds from Spain. It's not known, John Rolfe. I don't know how he got these seeds. It's a mystery of history, if you will, and because he was British, and Spain had outlawed selling tobacco outside of Spain. But where there's a will, there's a way. John Rolfe managed to get his hands on a bag of these seeds and had a scheme that would be a blueprint for the American dream, you see. Bars. But look, instead of looking for gold or jewels, he had a plan to grow these seeds in America and undercut Spain in the tobacco industry. Keep in mind, though, Spain wasn't selling tobacco outside of Spain, and Britain outlawed the sale of tobacco in Britain. So really, this was like a perfect storm, because, the colonies paid British taxes, but the laws of Britain didn't necessarily apply to the colonists overseas. So he was just about to grow out this tobacco and be like, oh yeah, I'm about to make money hand over fist, because I'm about to be selling this, because even though it was outlawed in Britain, tobacco was still, it was popular everywhere. So as he was growing it, he was like, yeah, I could sell this Spain tobacco and just sell it to other people, undercut them for, I got the China white for the cheaper price. You feel me? So, I mean, what's it called? That's capitalism, fam. You see a market, supply and demand that. You see a place in the market you can exploit, a supply that's not getting met with the demand. Boom, bro, take advantage of that. So, but so Rolfe planted the seeds and not only changed America, but he basically started the foundation of the tobacco industry we know today. And if that's not evil growing out of roots, I don't know what is. And speaking of roots, not only was it the start of the tobacco industry, but in just a few years, tobacco would be America's first cash crop. And with all the tobacco they were growing and exporting, they needed a workforce, of course, to harvest all the tobacco. So by 1619, the first indentured servants were brought to America from Africa to help with crops. And I say indentured servants only because early slaves were actually paid wages and able to work off debt and eventually own land. But as cotton became, the South's cash cow, they started, making it legally harder and passing legislation. So indentured servitude turned into slavery. The legislation plus the degradation and all that, it stemmed from the tobacco industry and just moved into, the cotton industry, and then they started passing laws like, they legally had it made so like black people they were seen as property. That's slavery. When you can't buy out your freedom and stuff like that, and when they change laws, that's hella slavery. So like when people say, there were black people that owned slaves, yes, because they were indentured servants at first, had to buy their freedom, and most of the slaves they owned were their family that they had to buy back. So, and they couldn't, there were laws. That's when they started making the laws like, hey, we can't have all these black people buying back their families and taking away our workforce, and then they're gonna be. So yeah, that's how that all happened. And like I said, it all started from the tobacco industry, and I'll get to more on that in just a second. But then, like I said, it was legally becoming harder for blacks to gain freedom and let alone get wages at all. And then you have like the degradation, and it all stems from the tobacco industry and the American dream of being lazy and not wanting to labor yet reap all of the fruits and benefits. The American dream, y'all. That's what America built off of. You feel me? Like, cool to make money, bro, but looking back on the history books, it doesn't paint you in the best light. But the tobacco industry, since its inception, has then it started using false scientific claims. Smoking improves health, it improves productivity and stuff like that. All of that's been proven utterly false. And effective lobbying and promotion during the early and mid 1900s made multiple generations of Americans addicted to cigarettes, unwittingly, getting them addicted. Not to mention tobacco companies, they started using addictive chemicals and growing tobacco with raised nicotine levels to make sure their clients got that full addiction effect. Stuff like rat poisoning and stuff like that. We all know what. There's been plenty, truth.org has exposed, all the chemicals in cigarettes, but I don't think they ever talked about how, I don't know exactly when it was, but I want to say it was probably in like the 60s, 70s. Don't quote me on that. But the American government actually investigated the tobacco industry and discovered that they were using or had started growing tobacco plants with higher nicotine levels. Like they would take the tobacco plants with the highest nicotine levels and regrow those. So as time went on, it was kind of like eugenics for tobacco plants, but they wanted the highest amount of nicotine because nicotine was the addictive, substance. So you get people more addicted, you keep them coming back. You feel me? Which is why even today, it's cheaper to buy 2 packs of cigarettes than 1, which I recently discovered. I don't smoke cigarettes, but that's crazy to me because they know you gonna come back. Like, it's nuts. But over the last 30 years, tobacco companies have been heavily sanctioned, and smoking cigarettes isn't looked at as an American pastime like it was, and it can't even be promoted in America. But overall, the damage that tobacco has done and will is it's ingrained in America. And at this point, it's ingrained everywhere. Like smoking cigarettes is heavy in Europe. It's big in Asia. People in the Middle East smoke tobacco and hashish and stuff like that. But like for the most part, like the tobacco or the cigarette industry, the damage is done, and it's gonna keep getting done. And that's the messed up part, I should say, because I mean you created. People are addicted every day. I mean, it's slowing down, but it's still speeding up in other places. So that's the kind of messed up part. Like I said, the effects will be seen until the end of it. Cancer. All of that has raised because of it, and it's not gonna stop. That's thanks tobacco. No, but now pretty on to alcohol. Alcohol was used sparingly by the Native Americans. And compared to like the the rotten fruit that the natives had, and that was their alcohol, because that's pretty much what it is. You just let it, sit there and ferment. But compared to the native alcohol, I mean, the colonizers had that Zaza. Like natives had Corona Light. Colonizers had that Henny, fam. Like that's. And that's the messed up part, is Euros knew that they had that Zaza lick, and they even used it against the natives during negotiations. When they were trading, they would get the natives faded, put them on a tab. Then at the end of the trade negotiations, oh, y'all want to trade us? No, bro, you owe us for all the liquor y'all drank. Oh yeah, we helped you drink it, but I mean, y'all still got to pay for it. Classic bait and switch, classic America. But I mean, natives started to recognize this, that they were getting fleeced, and that the colonizers weren't telling them the effects of the alcohol just because it was so ingrained in their society, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But the natives started to kind of recognize the dangers of alcohol. And the chief leaders tried to outlaw alcohol in the native country, and this led to natives going outside native lands to get drunk. And a few drunk natives, one or two around a lot of colonizers, especially drunk colonizers, well, that ends with missing natives. Ask Canada. There's big missing native problem in places like Canada, Alaska, New Mexico, places where natives are prevalent. No one seems to care, but it's definitely something to be talked about, something to be made aware of. But British and French colonizers, as I had mentioned before, had consumed alcohol with almost every meal. They spent most of their days in pubs, yet natives were stereotyped as drunk savages. Oh, the irony. Natives who had no concept of like alcohol or even like money or getting drunk or anything like that. They were painted as these drunk savages. Meanwhile, the colonizers out here starting bar fights almost every day after tending to their slaves. Like that's that's savage, bruh. For real. But the German, Russian, and Irish immigrants, they kind of would have and still do kind of have this same stigma. But here's the key difference with that. Those cultures at times have leaned in on or embraced these stereotypes. We all know the drunk Russian who loves vodka. The Italians and French love wine. Irish, they got the dark Belgian mud oil looking beer. You feel me? Like they have rich brewing history. Like they invented brewing processes in like Germany and stuff like that. Like they have a history of it, and have a rich history of using and being rich off of alcohol. What did alcohol do to the natives? It got them forced off their goddamn land. They didn't invent any like big, wine or anything like that, or agave like that. Like that's, tequila in Mexico and stuff like that. But in America, no, they got alcohol fucked them up. and it's not even debatable. Especially with the effects that it is now, like with the alcoholism rate in native tribes, like that's directly, a result from this. Being brutally forced off of your land isn't necessarily a rich history in alcohol. You feel me? Like I said, Irish people and all them came and made money off of their brewing processes and alcohol and stuff like that. But and again, the colonizers were giving these natives this strong liquor and not even telling them, hey, this is gonna get you messed up. They were praying, literally probably praying that this was gonna get the natives messed up so they could take advantage of them during trade negotiations, or make them weak, or not want to fight back, if you will. But yeah, if you ask me, that's not a very Christ-like thing from supposed God-fearing people. That's just me, though. But one last thing before I go, though. Not only was alcohol one of the things that weakened natives so the colonizers could manifest their genocide, destiny, rum was also used to trade Africans in Africa. Those slaves would be brought to the colonies in America to harvest sugar and tobacco. The sugar was then used to make molasses, syrup, and rum, which was basically how the transatlantic slave trade started. So besides guns, alcohol and tobacco were used since the inception of America to the benefit of European settlers, while they demonized the natives in other cultures, in this case genocided the natives, and then enslaved others while reaping untold benefits of the big tobacco and big alcohol industries at the time, fucking up their whole world. Like we all know, it's been exposed now that Jack Daniels was taught his brewing method from a slave or from one of his indentured servants, and now that indentured servant actually has his own that he's an entrepreneur. He has his own brand now. Like I don't know what it's called or whatever, but you can look it up, which is dope. Sucks that Jack Daniels is more more known, and I haven't really seen that hit the other brand of whiskey, but Jack Daniels everywhere. It's a national brand, so he's still reaping the benefits until the other dude's whiskey is just as popular or just as prominent in America. Just throwing that out there. I still drink Jack Daniels. It's fire whiskey. Jack and Coke. It's an American classic, fam. It's 2022. Get over it. But not just saying. I'm still wrong. And I may be contributing to it. But hey, man. It's already multi-millionaire. Me taking my money out, it's not going to affect this dude's pocket at all, fam. Just saying. If there's a big, pull together, don't drink this, cool, I'm going to stop. Just like I haven't been playing Call of Duty because of the whole Activision whole thing, but it's a whole nother topic and angle. But again, that does not take away the point that they have benefited. The certain sect of people have benefited, and then the more darker people got fucked over, and that's the story of the war on drugs. Like I've been saying, that's the one thing I said in the episode. I'm gonna keep saying that, and that's gonna be a point that I make throughout the whole series. Is that drugs are bad, okay, but only a certain set of people are getting punished for doing them, and the other set is benefiting, like making buku off of it. So that's where I'm, and I'll talk more about that in the marijuana video that I got coming up next. But that's pretty much all I got for this one. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Got more hot content from this theme dropping soon. Like I said, I'm not gonna be jumping around from series to series. I'm gonna do one theme of a series, or a season, I should say. I should say the season 1. The other ones were like season zeros, I guess you could say. didn't really have a concept or a plan out for them, but now I do. As far as content goes, still gonna be streaming on Twitch as well. I'm in the 2K playoffs right now. I'm in the conference finals with both conferences right now. Got 2 separate ones. Go tune that in. I'm on Twitch, ANTTHA_elevated_gamer. Follow me on Twitter at ANT_303. So you'll never miss a video. All my YouTube and all my Twitter, I post all of that. I need to start promoting when I do content more, live content, or when I'm gonna do something more. So again, something I'm gonna be getting better at, especially since I got a new job that actually works better with my schedule. So again, I got hot content, big things popping, hot content dropping soon, all that little shit stopping. And yeah, hope y'all enjoyed the scenery of my new studio. I'm still working on it. I'm making the best working with the best of what I got. You feel me? Making it look nice, less drab, if you will. This is probably where we gonna have the podcast. This little sectional right here. Stay tuned. Got a podcast coming up. Got my boy Roman. Usually that's why I'm not in my seat. I don't know if I said that before, but yeah, this is my usual studio chair. But this is his bed, so it's a priority. I'm not. Look how peaceful he look, y'all. He just been chilling this whole time. Love it, my boy. Yeah, got, like I said, hot content dropping. I got this video dropping, and then I'll do the marijuana, crack cocaine, and then the heroin. I already did opiates. If y'all ain't seen that, I'll leave a link, or it'll be in the playlist, if you will, per se. But yeah, got all that coming up. Gonna be working on this schedule, trying not to overwhelm myself, and also at the same time just be consistent. I don't have to do everything at once. Just being consistent and promoting myself will lead to others taking note of how I promote myself, and they'll be like, oh, maybe he could promote me and we can promote each other. That's how networking kind of happens, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm getting better. I'm new to this, trying to get true to this. Trying to make a few off this. You feel me? Trying to spit bars, trying to ramble on so I could take up the rest of this video time. But yeah, I got all that dropping soon. Like I said, I just kind of had a premonition, if you will, or a eureka moment of how I could get this podcast done with audio and video. This will probably be the studio for it and all that. So I'm going to work on getting that together. Meanwhile, I'm going to be dropping all my, like I said, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. I'm going to get back on this. I still got the Crash Bandicoot thing to get back into that little Let's Play. I'm going to get back on that real soon. But I just been in the middle of changing jobs and getting my shit together a little bit. Just celebrated my birth month. Took a little break. No, I shouldn't have. I got to stop doing that at least for a whole month, or at least I should vlog. I should start vlogging with this new job, and with the bread I'm going to be making. Should not be hard to get a couple upgrades here within the next 3-4 months. So yeah, stay tuned for all that. Like I said, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I got more like this dropping soon. So stay tuned. But yeah, it's been your, go ahead and leave a like if you did. Comment on, maybe some other topics that I can cover in the future. Stuff like that. And, yeah, be safe out there, y'all. Don't get smoked. It's been your boy, Agent ANT, repping the motherfucking Spell Black Agent C. Game gang, all that shit. We don't play none of that. But yeah, just been playing a little bit of Fallout 4, playing RPGs, been figured I'd replay this and then maybe do like Red Dead and stuff like that. God of War, just do a full on rehash, not like rehash, but play the best of, kind of have a best of PS4 run, because I should be copping, like I said, with the bread I'm gonna be making, the PS5 should be coming soon, you feel me? So stay tuned, like I be saying. But yeah, like, subscribe, ring the damn bell so you don't miss none of that. Or even, like I said, follow me on Twitter at ANT_303. Again, my Twitch is ANTTHA_ elevated gamer. If y'all don't know how to spell that, sorry. It's a lot to spell. Probably got enough time to spell it, but yeah, like I said, bro, I be lazy. In certain aspects, but I'm trying to work hard and get all, like I said, been getting my shit together and working out how I could, be consistent with this whole content and all that. So it's working itself out, especially with the money and the schedule, and the schedule especially is what I'm gonna be on. Like, I'm gonna be getting off perfect timing to start a streaming and go right the fuck to sleep. Or right before bed, do a little 2-hour stream. But I won't be streaming at like 2 or 3 a.m. no more, because that's about when I'll be starting work. So if y'all were watching me on Twitch for that, I'll be streaming a lot earlier now. But got a few seconds left, so I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Been your boy, Agent ANT. Y'all be safe out there. Don't get smoked. I'm out.